So we're going to show you today some things that you can do at home that will help with the corrective care that you've began. So we're going to talk about a couple of different options, and essentially with all of these options there's some goals we're trying to accomplish. There's mainly three types of neck curves that benefit from one of our different types of home units, either when the curve is straight in your neck or when it's reversed or when your head is really far forward on your shoulder. So that's why we're giving you this video to watch specifically. These home units are to stretch the ligaments at the front of your neck. So when you're lying in this position on the home unit, it helps to stretch the ligaments so that your body can change the curve much more than it would on its own. Often we'll see a very slow change over many years, but if we use a home unit like this, we can speed that up and see a great correction, often in 1 to 2 years, and we'll see a more complete correction with using it as well. So that's why it's important to use them. The home units don't correct alignment. They're not doing what an adjustment does. It's really more about getting maximum posture change to the curve from the adjustments that we're doing. So for all of the home units, you want to be on a firm surface, lying on the ground on a yoga mat or thick carpet, something that's firm but that you're comfortable lying on for 15 to 20 minutes. If it's hard on your lower back to lie on a hard surface like that, you can roll up a towel and put it underneath the curve of your lower back. You can also bend one of your legs or both of your legs if it helps your lower back to feel better as well. We'll show you a video after this one that has the specific type of home unit that we're going to ask you to use, and we'll have instructions on where to place it. But the process for all of them is very similar. Basically, you want to start by lying on the home unit for 3 minutes the first day. If it's comfortable being in that extended position for 3 minutes, then you increase by a minute a day until you get to 20 minutes. So the goal we're looking for is 20 minutes a day, and once you reach that 20-minute mark, you want to do that every day until we're seeing maximum correction of the curve, or I tell you you don't need to use it any longer. And that can take very different amounts of time for people. So that's the typical way people proceed through it. If it's not comfortable after lying on it for 3 minutes, then don't increase by a minute a day. Stay at 3 minutes a day until it gets more comfortable, and tell me at your next appointment that you found it uncomfortable, and there's some ways we can help to improve the comfort of it as well. So you want to increase slowly based on how your body's feeling with changing the minutes, and eventually we want to work up to 20, but it's okay if it takes a while to get to that point. A couple things about the position that you're in. You're on your back with your head extended. I don't advise you to try and read a book or watch TV or anything like that. Use that time as just a relaxing time. If you do prayer time or meditation or deep breathing, that type of thing is perfect while you're on your back, so your body can really focus on just relaxing those ligaments. Listening to music, something like that would be great as well. So use it as a relaxation time. It doesn't matter what time of day you do it, but I find that people who are really consistent with it, it's typically part of their bedtime routine. So I do advise everyone just to do that before you go to bed, because it seems to be a much more consistent routine than trying to fit it in, throughout the day when you have a free minute, because we don't ever seem to have free minutes. So do that before you go to bed and try to get into that routine. With all of the home units, what we do for their cost is they're right around what it costs us, and that's $40 at the moment for all of them. So you can purchase the home unit and take it home and start using it. Now what we're doing at the moment is, if you want to leave a review for us on one of our sites, like our Google page or ratemds.com or something like that, if you leave a review for us, just your own honest review, it doesn't have to be 5-star, just whatever your honest review is, we will give you a home unit at no cost. So that's something that we do just to save you some of the costs, but those reviews benefit us as well. Don't mention that you're leaving a review to get a free wedge or anything, but that's something that we're happy to do. So if you want to do that, we can send you an email that gives you instructions on how to leave a review, but obviously you can pay for it if you would prefer, and that's no problem. So the next video that our team will have you watch. We'll give you specific instructions on the home unit that you're meant to use. So the best home unit for you to use is a cervical orthotic like this one here, and we'll have a handout to give you as well. The key thing with this is finding the starting point that we're going to want to use the high point of this wedge on for you. And so the way that we're going to find that starting point, when you feel down the back of your neck, you don't feel most of these bumps up here, but lower down in your neck, one of those bones, it's called the spinous process, one of those bumps is really prominent on everyone, and it's at the base of your neck. Now typically if you wear a necklace or a chain, it will sit just above that bump. So I want you to look straight ahead and feel down the back of your neck until you feel that bump right at the base of your neck. It's close to your shoulder height. And like I said, that's prominent on everyone. If you look down, it's very hard to feel. You want to look straight ahead to find that bump. Now our team can help you find that spot if you're unsure of where that is, but that's our starting point. So on the form, if I've circled the middle of the neck as your position for using this home orthotic, then you basically want the high point of this wedge to be about an inch above that bump. You can start with it just above the bump, and when you extend back, it'll come up a little bit into the perfect spot. So start with the wedge just above that bump and let it come up a little bit higher when you extend back. That's the middle of the neck. Now with this wedge, there is a lower side, and that's the side that you want to use for your shoulders, and your head will come over the higher side here. So that's how you use this wedge. Your shoulders are at this side, your head is over this side. You extend back and just relax like we talked about in the last video for 3 minutes the first day. So that's the middle neck position. The lower neck position, once you've found this bump, you want the high point of the wedge to be really close to that bump. Right on the bump is often a little bit uncomfortable, so let the wedge go just slightly above that bump. You'll have to adjust the wedge once you extend back to probably pull it a little bit further down. But basically you want this this high point of the wedge to be as close to that bump that we talked about at the base of your neck for the lower neck position, if that's what I've circled on your instruction sheet. Those are the two most common ways to use this Dennerol. Now if we've circled the upper neck, then you want the wedge to be basically in the middle of your neck, so halfway between your head, the base of your head, and that bump. And that would be the upper neck position. So with this unit, one of the important things that it does, it's very easy to adjust the height. So when you're extended with your head back on this home unit, the neck orthotic, if your head is touching the ground, so there's pressure on your head and it's resting on the ground, then this unit is too low. That won't happen unless you've cut different layers off of this unit like I'm going to talk about. So if you take too many layers off, your head can end up resting on the ground. What's more common is that this is too big. And if it's too big, you'll feel like it's pushing your neck really far forward and your head can barely extend back. So your head is really far off the ground and your head's being pushed forward. If that's the case, there are some pre-cut layers on this cervical orthotic. And all that you do is you cut the end on both sides and this layer will come off. Try it again with one layer removed and feel, see how it feels. It should feel like there's a bit of pressure on your neck, but your head can extend fully back. And that's the position you want to be in. Your head should be close to the floor or just brushing the floor, but it shouldn't be resting on it and it shouldn't be pushed far forward so that you can't extend back. So if you take one layer off and it's still too high, take the second layer off the same way and test it out. And if that makes it too low and your head is on the ground, then you can just tape that layer back on. It's really easy to customize it as you need to. So that's how you can customize this orthotic, and that's why we use this one specifically. If you have any questions about that or the position of the wedge, ask our team or myself to help you with that. One other thing that will work really well along with the cervical orthotic are spinal hygiene exercises. So we'll give you a handout that has 8 exercises from easiest to hardest. It takes about 12 to 15 minutes to do all of them, and some of them require a fit ball, which is a really great piece of equipment to have at home that you can purchase at lots of different places. But using the spinal hygiene exercises will help strengthen your core, which allows you to be more stable and hold adjustments better. This will allow your body to change the curves of your spine more effectively, and together that will help you get the best results with your postural corrective care.